story of upgraded formulas is something people ask me as the founder all the time. Why'd you start it? How are the products different? Why should I be taking it? Well, for far too long, your doctor, unfortunately, has not looked at your hair test, has not looked at your mineral status. These things are really important. They've probably looked at your blood before. Really, what you want to see is you want to see a full, complete picture of health. Nothing really does that better than hair. Now, our products also complement the hair tests really well, and I'll get to more of the story in a second, but really, as a chemical engineer and as a nutritionist, I was able to look at something I saw out there and that I was really dissatisfied with, which was basically just wasting, peeing out all the expensive products I was taking. And as an athlete, that affected performance, and I knew there had to be a better way. So I thought, okay, how do we make this measurable? How do we make the minerals absorb at a different level? So what we do is we apply nanotechnology to minerals. Why is this important? Well, it's important if you want to live an optimal lifestyle. It's important if you have chronic conditions and you want to recover from them. But there's no getting around giving your body what it needs. The example I give is if you had a shoulder and it got dislocated, is any amount of PT or any amount of drugs or any amount of supplements going to fix that? No, you have to put that shoulder back in place. This is the same thing with restoring your mineral status. Now, whenever someone comes to us and they do a hair test, we can see at a glance what their mineral status is. Now, just to be clear, when we sell a hair test, that doesn't include the consultation up front. That's an additional service option. But this information you can take to your nutritionist or your nutritionally informed doctor, and they can look at it and they can have a rock solid data point, right? Much more reliable than blood, much better than blood. Blood turns over in a couple weeks. Hair, this is 3 or 4 months of data. So you can take it every 3 or 4 months if you really want to dial in on your health. What I realized though, after taking a hair test 6 or 8 years ago, was I realized that there weren't very many good solutions out there that actually fixed, okay, once you've identified the problem, actually fixed it and solved it. So what do you do at that point? So what we offer now is, through our new technology, we offer products that you can absorb on a cellular level. The problem with most supplements, unfortunately, is that they're way too big. When you look at them under a microscope, when you measure them with the lasers, they're 5 to 8 times the size of a red blood cell. With ours, they're many times smaller. So they get into the mitochondria, they get to work, they get absorbed, and only then do you really see a value of what you're paying for. Right now, you wonder, well, okay, how am I actually getting any value of what I'm paying for if I'm not taking your product? Well, you're getting some because you're digesting it through the liver. Now, the liver, unfortunately, acts kind of like a reducing valve, and that's like 10 or 20% of what's in the product. And this is the most you'll ever get from other products. So what I can say is that we do have the best absorption that you have out there in a technology, in a supplement that you can reliably take. The math behind it is, let's say you pay $30 for a supplement and you absorb 20% of it. Really, you flushed everything but about $6 down the drain. That's not cool. And I was furious with this. So this is something I thought was really important, really worth solving, something that people really connect with. Was a real key thing that we wanted to accomplish. For far too long, what we've seen is when we go to a doctor or we go to a nutritionist, they look at our blood. They might do a swab of the mouth, they might check urine, but these aren't nearly as reliable as hair, right? So really, there's a time, it's really just time to just switch up how we do things normally, just at a base level. That was an old way. It worked okay. We have a better solution now, so why not take it, right? it's a very reasonably priced sort of product, and it's something that is super easy to do. You can take it at your house, by yourself, in 5 or 10 minutes and be done with it. You know, you mail it off to the lab, we get the results, we share them with you, and then you get to start taking action from that point on something that's much better data for you, you know? And this is stuff that is, you know, it's a hard science that's boiled down in a way that is easily interpretable. So the other thing to mention really is, well, why do we need to take minerals in general, right? I get this question all the time. People say, okay, so I just stopped taking, you know, I heard minerals, I heard products, supplements, a lot of it, I wasn't sure if it worked. And because of that reason, you know, some people don't know what to take really, they get confused. So why is it important? The soil, unfortunately, for a number of different reasons, it just doesn't have what it used to have in it. Why is that important? Well, even if, and people say this too all the time, well, I'm eating organic, or oh, I'm vegan, or I follow a ketogenic diet, it's got everything I need, or I only eat red meat and it's got everything I need, or whatever it might be. There's a lot of nutrition philosophies that are becoming kind of like religious philosophies. And unfortunately, whenever you start to look at one side of something, you miss some really important stuff on the other side. And the thing with this is we're looking at a holistic approach. We're not making any judgments, we're just looking at facts. We're looking at your hair, and we're using a product that absolutely can change those numbers, can change those bars and lines to things that are more in your favor, so you can sleep better, so you can have more energy, so you can tackle your dreams, your goals, so that you can really proceed with life the way you want to, instead of being, you know, held back with, you know, fatigue, and held back with brain fog, and, you know, held back with just lethargy, and you know, it's just not a fun way to live. So I was super passionate. I felt like it was a duty, a responsibility to bring this out into the world and really share it, really help people understand it. So I hope that this video does enough in a few minutes to help you understand at least a starting point. You can check out Upgraded Formulas for more information. But this is just a great point, a great introductory point. Unfortunately, one thing I was going to mention was the soil being depleted the way it is means that even if you do eat organic, or if you ascribe to any particular diet, I can guarantee you're not going to get all the minerals you need. These minerals influence everything you do. They influence your hormones, which influences, last I checked, every aspect of your life, of your behavior. So if you want to focus, if you want better sleep, if you want better sex, if you want better anything that is a derivative of hormones and good hormone levels, outside of just getting sun, you have to supply your body with all the other raw materials. Melatonin, for example, don't recommend you take that. But I recommend magnesium because it's the raw material that your body needs to make the melatonin. So what I'm saying is, when your body has adequate magnesium levels, you make all the melatonin you need. Now, the problem is you're probably taking a magnesium supplement, maybe you're taking a multivitamin or something like that, but I can guarantee you the absorption rate, if you understood what it was, it wouldn't be good. You wouldn't like it. So what I'm offering is a solution here to that problem. We all need to sleep better. We're just a lot happier that way. So again, check out Upgraded Formulas for more information. You can check out our Instagram page at Upgraded Formulas. You can check out mine, it's Spartan Scott at Upgrade, on Instagram as well. And I'm happy to help. Really, that's why I started the company. I care about people, and I know how difficult, I know how much of a struggle it can be to just not have the energy to pursue your goals, to have a big vision for life, to want to be able to help people, to want to be able to make an impact. And how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that if you don't have the health to back it up? So thanks for the time. And again, check out upgradeformulas.com for more information. Our first product was Upgrade Magnesium. This is in a liquid nanomineral form, just like all our other products. And right now, I'm happy to say that we actually have a doctor that's starting a clinical trial in January. It's just so exciting because they're going to be working with traumatic brain injury patients. Research has shown that magnesium helps us repair the brain, repair on a cellular level, get cells working again well, and producing energy at a cellular level. So his belief is that our product, since our absorption rate is so incredible, will be able to help these people get back on their feet much more quickly. Before we go to one other thing I want to talk about was charity water. Charity water is something that's very near and dear to our hearts at Upgraded Formulas. It's something that we donate to. We donate a portion of profits, an ever increasing portion of profits, to this company that's doing amazing work. Please check them out as well, charitywater.org. They have a radical transparency model where 100% of donations go to actually drilling water wells in countries. This is really a beautiful mission because there's so many people that suffer from tumors, and disease as well, strictly from dirty water. When you fix that, what we've realized is that clean water ends up fixing a lot of the problems that later develop. People don't have to walk for water hours each day, each way, so they're able to take another job as well. There's a huge amount of benefit, and we're really passionate and we're really happy to be able to give back to them. So, please support us in that mission and support Charity Water as well. Maybe in the future we'll even be able to put a product out with them, like a water. If we do, please look out for that. Often when I talk to people, they say, so why'd you start Upgraded? Like, what was the impetus? So oddly enough, when I was 25, I had seemingly everything. I had a great job, great relationships, I was really fit, and yet I had no energy. And the struggle was so difficult because on the outside, it seemed like everything was working great, everything was fine, but I had debilitating fatigue. Like, can't focus, can't look at a spreadsheet, just all sorts of problems that I didn't have when I made it. I'd finished college a few years before as a chemical engineer. I was about to start helping people as a nutritionist at this point, and I was working full time and things were great, but I had no energy. And I knew that if I had this problem, so many other people would have this problem. And I knew if I could solve it, there would be tremendous value for people in this. And that idea, that momentum, that I wasn't just doing it for myself, I was doing it eventually for other people, was something that really, really drove what I did, drove the innovation, drove there's a lot of times as an entrepreneur, starting your own business, that things, it's difficult at times, very difficult. So it's very, emotional. Finally, I was able to solve these problems using this technology. For me, in particular, granted everyone's story will be different, I was so chronically deficient in electrolytes, primarily magnesium in my case, potassium to a lesser extent, but primarily magnesium, that as soon as I got my magnesium levels up, I felt 90% better. I was back. I could work 12 or 14-hour days every day and feel fine. I just had to continue supplementing and things were good. The change that made was so dramatic that it quite literally changed my life. It changed how I looked at nutrition. It changed a lot of things. So I'm just very happy that I'm able to share this in a format now and can offer products that have helped me so much in my journey.